Tony Bazan, thanks for joining me today. You've been quoted as saying learning how to learn is one of life's most important skills. Why is that?
Well, if you think about it, if you think about education and the importance of education, and you imagine that you are the emperor or empress of the universe, and you have one thing to say to your people, the billions of planets under your beneficent control, and you can either say, from now on, and you know they're going to obey you, from now on, you must first of all learn everything there is to learn, and then you must learn how to learn. That's choice one. Choice two, from now on I command that you must first learn how to learn, and having learned how to learn, you then learn everything there is to learn. Which, as a beneficent dictator, would you do? I mean, as the American would say, it's a no-brainer on the brain, isn't it? You'd obviously teach the person to learn how to learn, and then apply all that energy to learning what needs to be learned. And that's the revolution, really, in education and thinking and business and government that is happening globally now. Singapore is doing it. Mexico, President Fox announced it. The Chinese government announced it, that we've got to teach everyone to learn how to learn. Because when they can learn how to learn, which means learn how to remember, learn how to note, learn how to mind map, learn how to think, learn how to read and manage knowledge, when they can manage this, i.e. learn how to learn, they can then go into marketing and they can go into physical training and multiply their accelerated learning massively. Apart from that, no reason at all.
So is that continuous improvement for the brain, and can you age-proof your brain?
It is exactly what it is. The brain is designed to continue to learn. In fact, there are 4 foods the brain needs. One is oxygen. One is good nutrition. One is love, affection, friendship. And the 4th one is lifelong learning and sensory stimulation. Without them, the brain withers and dies. So continuous improvement, continuous development is intrinsic to what the human brain is designed to do.
So you told us today about boredom. Why should we fight against boredom in organisations and personal boredom?
Boredom, on one level, is an ultimate enemy of the brain. If you are bored, it means that the brain is disconnecting, it's disengaging from life, from information, from learning, etc. And what we've done unwittingly, again globally in our education systems, is to teach us, teach ourselves, teach everyone in a way which is the opposite of the way the brain wants to learn. So we are taught, as I was taught, I know that you and everyone was taught, to make notes in one color, a blue or a black. Now, a blue or a black is a monochrome of color. A monochrome is a monotone is monotonous by definition, monotonous. And what word do we use to describe something that is really, really monotonous? Boring. And what does your brain do, everybody's brain do when you're bored? Switch off, shut down, go to sleep. So we've been teaching ourselves to be bored and to disappear from concentration, from focus. Whereas with the right techniques of learning, the brain will never be bored. I mean, when we teach kids who are delinquent and suffering from attention deficit disability syndrome, and you put a mind map in front of them and say, fill that in and put in your own colors, and by the way, that mind map's on you. And this child who's never been able to concentrate, boom, and sometimes when the bell rings for lunch, and normally they'd have been kind of waiting 5 minutes before to get out as soon as the first ding goes, they don't even hear it because they're so engaged. The brain is designed to be engaged, to be interested, to be interesting, to learn, to be with its friends, to be active. And so if any brain is bored, it means it's got a seriously wrong formula in there. And if you pollute the brain with wrong formulas, like don't use colors, don't daydream, Don't fantasize. If you pollute the brain with wrong formulas, it just says, oh, all right, this is, it's not really worth hanging around much any longer, and slowly tunes itself out.
You speak a lot about daydreaming. What's the link between daydreaming and continual improvement in organisations?
People often ask, why daydreaming? The fact is that every single person daydreams most of the day. And it has been assumed mistakenly that that was not concentrating, that was not learning. But what it is concentrating on images and projections of the future. And you can actually define the successful individual, the leader, the genius, the dominant brain in relation to daydreaming, because we all daydream. So what's the difference? And the difference is a very interesting one. It's that the succeeder, the real self-improver, daydreams, and usually daydreams big, and then works to make the dream come true. So daydreaming is an essential part of human progress. It's the essential part of continuous improvement. Why would anyone want to continually improve? Because of the rewards. You get more enjoyment, you have more knowledge, you can think better, your creativity flows more sparkly, your memory improves, your social relationships expand, your enjoyment of life is better, your senses become more alert. And daydreaming is, if you use it well, is the way in which that can be guided, can be led. So you set the vision, and everybody who has set off on the path of continuous improvement, of continuing to develop, is a daydreamer. Why are they doing it? Why are they with us now? Viewing this, listening to us, simply because they have a dream that their brain, their intelligences can be enhanced, and they want to do it. And why do they want to do it? Because the brain is designed to do it, and the rewards are so great.
So what are some of the ways that organisations can tap into that power of daydreaming and sort of formalise it so they can continually improve?
There are a number of ways in which any organisation can tap into this human power. And that is, first of all, to have a good vision for themselves. I work a lot with directors of companies, and I often say, what's the vision? What's the mission statement? And in most instances, they're not sure. Not quite, well, we want to do whatever. But your vision has to be very clear. So the organization has to make sure that its own vision is clear. It has to make sure that everybody in the organization knows that vision and agrees with it. Because if they don't agree, they're not going to put energy behind it. The organization also needs to make sure that the individuals themselves are continually developing themselves, that they are enhancing their memories, that they are improving their creativity, that they are learning to mind map so that they can control the thinking processes, so that they can monitor, so that they can manage projects, manage knowledge, communicate better. So what the organizations need to do is to give the vision, make sure that everybody is aligned with that vision, make sure that the organization itself knows the individual's personal life visions. Because if those visions interlink, then the whole vision will be stronger, and the company will benefit, and the individual and his or her vision will benefit as well. And you monitor all that, and you create it, you record it, you remember it, you learn and communicate with it with the mind map. Because the mind map uses all the cortical skills and therefore allows you to get that vision, number one, more clearly defined, and number two, more repeated into your consciousness, so that you are consistently going towards it and continually developing towards it.
Tony Puzan, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.